Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of United Talks podcast. And disaster strikes again. It's so heartbreaking and so disappointing to watch that Manchester United, a club of such magnitude and caliber, would lose a game of this magnitude. It's so disappointing, so heartbreaking, so sad to look at, because in truth, nothing worked today. There's nothing you want to tell me that the team couldn't have done, because the truth is, as a manager, you only coach the team to do the best thing they can do. And then, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see. I can't even find the words to describe the utter pain that I feel with regards to the disaster that we just watched. Manchester United not being able to deliver, when needed. It's so heartbreaking and disastrous. And oh man, if we look at it, if we analyze it and everything, first half was ridiculous. First half was absolutely ridiculous. Because I can't fathom the fact that we started so slowly. We started without even the urgency that Man United needed. And there were reports. Obviously, I've analyzed the press conference. I've analyzed the Amorim's presser. And I talked about certain things that I noticed. And I talked about certain things that, I expected of him. I talked about certain things like he said in the presser. But to think about it from the perspective of, the manager said he had no idea of what to expect. And maybe people took it out of context and all, but he said he had no idea of what to expect in the team. He set up his team and all of that. 45 minutes at the community stadium, at the Gtech Community Stadium, would not have been what he wanted to see, basically, because how can you defend horrendously like that? Especially the first goal. Okay, the first goal was against run of play. Cunha was waiting for a foul, and they switched off for 1 second, and then Henderson pings that ball straight to Igor, who just breaks the offside trap and goes on to score. And he scores at the first chance he gets, and then next thing, Brentford start playing tactics. They start playing antics and doing all sorts of things and trying to mess with Brentford has become the hardest place Man United can ever go and play. Even under Ten Hag was a problem. Even on that, everybody had a horrible game. The only person that could stand up for himself was Šeško. But even in the time that Šeško was trying to play, he played. The only time we could see him involved in the game was in the first half. The second half, nobody was anywhere to be found. We were just passing the ball back in the back line. Everybody was out of sorts. And then when I saw the starting lineup, I was like, okay, this lineup looks good, but I felt like Cunha shouldn't have started this game. I felt like maybe you could have given Kobe Mainoo a start, but at the end of the day, Kobe Mainoo comes on in the defensive midfield position, playing because it's kind of like throwing the kitchen sink, because I felt Ugarte could have still remained. Ugarte made like 1 or 2 mistakes you can actually see in the game, but Cunha trying so hard, trying to shoot, trying to score, instead of, creating chances and trying to pass. Bruno having a horrible game. I mean, this is one of the most horrible games I've watched Bruno play, and he was out of sorts as well. He felt like he was not even involved in the game whatsoever. I mean, now, this team is full of a lot of mistakes and inconsistencies as well. Now, Ruben Amorim said something at the press conference. He said, I don't know what is going to happen in the next game. And he followed up and said, to be completely honest, I have no idea. I have an idea, but I don't know how it's going to be. And I am the manager of this team. Now, within 20 minutes, we're already 2 goals down with horrendous defending. Albeit, another person that stood up for himself today, even though he conceded 3 goals, is Altay Bayindir. Altay Bayindir stood up for himself today and saved some goals, but then allowed some go in. I don't know. And there were no set pieces that were used to score against us. That is the most important thing. We didn't concede on set pieces, but we conceded goals against run of play against a Brentford side that did not actually come to play. They only came for antics. And obviously, the captain actually admitting that it was tactical foul. Obviously, we all know the tactical foul to score against, to prevent Mbeumo from getting that goal. But how is that not a red card in the first place? Because he's stopping a goal scoring opportunity by pulling the player down. They review it, but if it's a Man, I remember Ligt against Man City, same thing, right? If they review it now and it's a Man United player, they will give it a red card, and everybody's saying they know that it's supposed to be a red card. But yeah, man, it's same thing. Jordan Henderson hoops the ball over the top, somehow finding Thiago in acres of space in the United half, and he controlled the ball smartly and advanced towards Altay Bayindir's goal. And obviously, Bayindir is left bare. What do you want him to do? It's either Maguire keeps that high line very high, or follows the player completely and stops him from getting the goal. But to go and, yeah, man, yeah. The only positive I can take is that Šeško scores, but Šeško scores and what, we lose 3-1, and then everybody's gonna come for everybody. Like, yeah, it's heartbreaking. Like, I'm even trying to find the words to actually talk about this game, like to actually review this game for real. I'm really trying to find the words. My United fans were in 6s and 7s in this game. 6s and 7s. Sorry, my United players were in 6s and 7s. As you can see, I'm finding it hard to find the words to actually express how I feel about this game. And this is my honest reaction to the game, because in truth, maybe I'll probably get another fan to actually talk about this game. But my honest reaction to this game is that Man United were horrendous, absolutely horrendous. It was a disastrous game to watch. There was no control. There was no, like, we couldn't wrestle control from Brentford, who were doing mid block, low block, and I mean, throughout the game, I could hear things like, oh, tight to him. Oh, drop. Oh, forward. Things like this from Brentford manager. And I'm like, yeah, they came with the tactics and the mentality to actually stifle Manchester United in any way possible and hoof the ball over the defense, because they don't want the midfield to play. But Man Utd and Bruno were trying to get control of the game, but they couldn't just have anything to play in the game. They just couldn't affect the game whatsoever. Maybe I would have preferred Gtech back there, because obviously his defensive mentality and all of that. But albeit he was on the field, we considered 2 goals. He was off the field, we still considered 1. Oh, Kobe Mainoo should have been playing. He was on the field, we still considered 1. Oh, I'm seeing Tapman Dave post something saying, oh, he doesn't know why the best young defender in the world is on the bench. He comes in, we still concede. Like, I looked at the bench, the only players we could bring on, like I said, this squad is thin. We still don't have impactful players, and I felt Ruben Amorim could have just put Cunha on the bench so that Cunha can affect the game coming off the bench, and then we'll have Bruno playing as a midfield while as the attacking 10, while then whatever happens, if Kobe Mainoo plays after 62 minutes, you sub him off and bring in Cunha and you still affect the game. But no, nothing. Bruno was nowhere to be seen in the game. For the first time in a long time, I'm saying to myself, this is disastrous to watch. Other times you could say, okay, there are some positives, there are some things you could see in the game, and then you will tell yourself, okay, you know, we can build from this. And even Bruno, you had just one job to score a penalty. For me, I felt like even if he wanted to score, he could have scored. Play it down the middle, or play the other side, or play, hit it hard with conviction. That penalty was not hit with conviction at all. And obviously, Kelleher saves pens. That one we know. In fact, there was a stat he's played in his 5 appearances for Liverpool. He saved in 5 penalties faced against Liverpool. He saved 3, and then in 1 penalty shootout, he saved 6. I'm like, it's heartbreaking, and it's disappointing to actually watch Man United capitulate against Brentford again. And it feels like the fan base kind of sensed that this kind of thing will happen. But who are we going to blame? Because everybody's going to blame scapegoat Bruno now on this one. But who are we going to blame? Who are we going to blame, in truth? The defense? Because they were in 6s and 7s. The league was trying his best to clear his lines, and then obviously he miscalculated the ball, and several times he missed the bounce. What of Diogo Dalot coming back into the squad? Looked unfit. Looked like he could not run per se, not fast enough to deal with Kevin Schade. For Dalot, I expect that should be fast enough and dogged, but it was not. What of Patrick Dogu? Oh my days, Patrick Dogu. Yes, didn't give up, crossed the ball that led to the goal. But the rest of the game, Maybe he was struggling with an injury. I don't know, because he came back with the second in the second half with a strap on. But the rest, what do you expect? The rest of the game, he played horrendously bad. In a game that you expect that obviously we should be pushing forward and driving forward. He only had like 2 or 3 driving runs, carrying the ball by himself. The rest, trying to dribble a player who's hell bent on taking you down. He had only like 2 or 3 chances against Coyote. The rest, nothing, bro. And then the next one, he's diving, jumping. Like, go, just keep going, bro. Like, I don't understand. It's really heartbreaking to watch a game like this and watch Man United capitulate. Even under Ten Hag, it wasn't this bad against Brentford. I know we conceded 3 goals or 4 goals under Ten Hag, but Brentford seems to be the bane of our existence in this Premier League. And then we go and face Sunderland next week. Like, this whole week, the last week, obviously, we got a situation where we could talk about, how we beat Chelsea, and we could take positives from that. But this one, I don't know what positives I want to take from this. But there are things we learn from the game. There are things we've seen in the game, and it's looking like the front three is not working. That's what it's looking like, because Cunha back in the lineup. I mean, he probably would have started with even Mason Mount, or probably would have started with maybe Bruno, like I said, up top. My predicted lineup had Bruno up top as 1 or 2 times with Mbeumo. They will run that team ragged. Mbeumo stretching, Bruno dropping in the mid and playing those long balls and all. Bruno was trying to everything he could, but still had a horrendous game. So I could go on and on talking and ranting, and I've been talking for more than 11 minutes, but let's basically talk about the player ratings for the game, because the truth is, this game was annoying. It was so annoying. Like, it was so annoying. Like, even the possession stats does even, like, okay, let's talk about possession. Man United have 56 possession. 6% ball possession versus Brentford's 44%. Expected goals for Man United was 2.03, so should have scored 2 or 3 goals in this game. Brentford 1.99, and they scored 3 goals. What about 10 shots? Total shots 14. I think this should be the poorest shot output for Manchester United this season to Brentford's 10. And then obviously, if we look at the big chances, Brentford has 6 big chances. Man United had 4. Big chances missed. Man United missed 3 of the 4 big chances, while Brentford missed 4 of the 6 big chances. And the other chances, they scored, right? Accurate passes, 81%, 369, to Brentford's 268, 76%. They even had 268 passes, right? They committed the most fouls, 14, or Man United committed 10. Corners, they had 4. They still scored from none, right? Which is good for the goalkeeper, because I was worried about the goalkeeper. If we're looking at XG open play, horrible. Man United had 0.90 to Brentford's 1.23. XG set play, Man United 0.35 to Brentford's 0.76. Non-penalty XG, Man United had 1.25 to Brentford's 1.99. And then XG on target, Man United had 2.10 to Brentford's 2.82. So XG on target meant that they scored, and of the 3 chances they had to score, they scored all of them. That is crazy, man. That is absolutely crazy. Shots from outside the box, 5 for Man United. Shots from inside the box, 9 for Man United. Yeah. Shots on target, 6 to Brentford's 8. How come? Oh my days. It's heartbreaking. It's really, really heartbreaking to see. 16 tackles to Brentford's 14. Interceptions 4 to Brentford's 7, because they were blocking, they were defending really hard. Maybe when we first start finding the things we've learned from the game, then maybe we could take some positives. But then, like, I don't know what positives I want to take from this game. They outplayed us, outperformed us. Like I said, the only player that stood out for Manchester United this season, that this game, that held his head high, was Benjamin Šeško. Was trying to make things happen. He scored his goal. He had 3 attempts. 3 attempts. A header that was blocked by the keeper. A shot that was blocked by the keeper. 3 shots, and then the third one, he scored. Blasted it into the net. That's how you do it, bro. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Mine are 29 clearances to Brentford's 23. Were we the ones defending? I mean, think about it. It's crazy. It's crazy. And if we look at the head-to-head, we have struggled. The last time we beat Brentford, obviously, was in October last year. We beat them 2-1 at home. They beat us 4-3. And they beat us 4-3 in May, 4th of May. And then, obviously, we lost to them today again. Crazy. Absolutely. In the Premier League, 5 wins, Brentford 2, Man United, and the draws have been 3. Like, it is crazy. But it is what it is. We have to just be positive. So let's look at the player ratings. I don't know how to be positive from this one because Brentford outplayed us with their tactics and their defending and their Stoke City style of set piece, and oh my days, there was some Rory Delap going on there. Altay Bayindir in net, he gets a 6.5 from me. Poor performance, conceded 3 goals, but did really well in trying to save. I know I sound like I'm contradicting myself, but did really well in trying to save some of the balls. But in truth, like, conceded 3 goals, he had 5 saves, right? And then obviously he had 2 diving saves and 5 saves in the box. Recoveries 5, throws, whatever. It is what it is. He had 36 touches in the entire game. Luke Shaw, 5.5. Poor performance again. 81 minutes played. Didn't really do well. 71 touches in the game. 3 accurate long balls, 3 of 5, and all of that. So 5.5 for the first time. Poor game. Everybody is now going to blame Luke Shaw also because obviously he didn't cover himself in glory. What of Harry Maguire? 6.0. Poor performance. Played 66 minutes and obviously still couldn't organize the defense as expected. Didn't affect the game in any way possible. Had poor touches, 39. And one thing I could notice in the game before we go on with these player ratings is the fact that the ball spent most of the time in the air. Heading, one drive, boom, foul. Next thing, it goes up. Hoofed, heading, one foul, boom, and it goes down again. We start again from top. How? Against Brentford, that will keep the ball down, play them off the park. No. Next thing, they get the ball. We lose one loose touch. We have one loose touch. Next thing, they get the ball and then heading, ball in the air, hoofed, boom. We defend again. We head it down. We try to play 1-2 touch. They foul. We start again from scratch. I'm like, how is it that only 2 players in Brentford got yellow cards? One should have even gotten a red card. Kayode, who is supposedly having to perform very well, could have also gotten a yellow card or something. But yet, no. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Speaking of other performances, Matthijs de Ligt, I'll give him a 6.5. Okay performance, maybe poor, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You can't find any positives from a game of this manner. Like, then Dalot, yeah, poor 6.5. Poor performance again today. Was not affecting the game in any way. Was being outrun by Kevin Shad. Like, it is crazy. Patrick Dogu, 6.5. Poor performance too as well. Involved in the goal. Maybe that's what we edge it to. But I can't see any player in this team getting up to a 7. Except for Benjamin Šeško. 6.5. For Patrick Dogu. The next one is Manuel Ugarte. Maybe closer to 7, but 6.5 too as well. It was involved in the game. The moment we went out, it looked like we had no defensive strength in the midfield. It felt like we're playing everything from the back. Right? 43 touches in the game. 2 passes into the final third. Well, at least he carried some balls and ran through and created some chances as well for us to even score. Oh my days. Next person is Bruno, who had one of the horrible games I've ever watched him play. 6.0 for Bruno. Got a yellow card, missed the penalty when he should have even clawed the game back. Same thing he did now against Fulham when he could have helped us get a winner. He missed. Now in the pressure moment, and even Brentford at some point when the VAR was checking the penalty, At some point, it felt like, okay, they were trying to make subs. Why are you trying to make subs? They were trying to make subs to disrupt us. In truth, everybody's right to do whatever, or allowed to do whatever they want to do when it comes to their tactics. But making subs so that you can further delay and put pressure on, that is some weird tactics, man. But it's going to come back to bite them. That's one thing I'm sure of. They have 2 wins now in the Premier League, and unfortunately, Manchester United is one of the teams they've beat. Bruno Fernandes, 6.0, poor performance as well. Brian Bumo, 6.5, a little bit over, closer to 7, tried to make things happen, but had a bad game. It wasn't a good day in the office. Played 90 minutes. There was no urgency. There was no drive, no fight, nothing, right? He had 2 defensive contributions, 44 touches, 4 touches in the game as well. 5 touches in the opposition box, passing to the final third, 4. He was trying to make crosses as well, I remember. He was dispossessed once. He made 2 tackles, and he was dribbled past twice as well. Ground was 1. 3 of 7, 43%. That is where it's key, right? So it is what it is. Matheus Cunha, another poor performance again. I'll give him a 6.5 for this one, maybe 6.0, closer. 21 of 23 accurate passes. Excuse me. He had 4 shots, and they were weak shots. He had 8 defensive contributions. He had 2 block shots. And he had 1 of 4 shots on target. Think about it. 1 of 4 shots on target. He had 45 touches in the game as well. Poor performance. Then we have now basically coming back to Bruno. The only thing that made him stand out in this game is that he had the most completed. Bruno Fernandes completed the most passes in the match. 54. He had 81 touches in the game, was trying to be involved and all that, but he had 14 passes in the final third, trying to create chances. Shots on target, he had 1 of 100%, right? Then 4 clearances and all of that. So yeah, it is what it is. And then to the man that stood out for me for today was Benjamin Šeško. He had the least touches of any outfield player who played a total of 90 minutes. That's because we isolated him. The team isolated Benjamin Šeško, and now everybody's going to climb on Ruben Amorim, climb on Bruno Fernandes. Like, everybody is involved. Nobody is covering themselves in glory. He scored his goal. He had 3 defensive contributions. He missed 2 big chances. He had 2 block shots. He had 26 touches in total. Touches in the position box, he had 6. Successful dribbles, none, because obviously he attempted 1 and it didn't work out. Passes in the final third, he had 2, right? And then recoveries, 1 and all of that. Yeah, 3 of 6 aerial duels won, 50%. So the only thing, he scored a goal and he gets a 8.0 from me. That's it. That's the only thing that stood out for me for Benjamin Šeško. Lenny Euro came on, nothing to show, 6.0. Defensive howlers as well. We were just in 6s and 7s in defense. Kobe Menu, 6.0. Came in 66 minutes, was trying to speed up the game and make emphatic passes. But obviously, total touches 26. Next thing you tell me, Kobe Menu should have started this game. Yes, I agree, Kobe Menu should have started this game. But he still had no impact in the game in the time that he came on. So what chance do we have to defend him, right? What chance do we have to defend him? Messi Man came on 81 minutes, nothing to show. Started in attacking mid, ended up in left wing back because Patrick Dogu got injured or got subbed off because he was also struggling and had a strap on his calf. Same thing, Joshua Zirkzee came in 85 minutes, no impact. Played probably like 10 minutes in the game. It's heartbreaking to see, bro. It's really heartbreaking to see. And then obviously we didn't have any other changes to make maybe we could have even brought on Diego Leon to give us that left wing back get left wing back because he had one more change to make, and he could have brought on Diego Leon and they still kept Mount in attacking mid, or even kind of, I don't know, left Lugate on. I don't know. I really don't know. Lugate wasn't having a bad game and he's our defensive midfielder. So, and then obviously the rest, like even the injured players, and maybe Nuz Majraoui would have held himself in glory. Maybe Casemiro could have also played well in this game, but like yeah. Overall team performance, 6.0. Poor overall. Then Ruben Amorim's rating, 6.0. Everybody did not cover themselves in glory except Benjamin Šeško. What do you guys think about the game? Because I'm feeling very disappointed, very, very disappointed, at least for the first time in a while. I'm trying to take positives from the game, but yeah, maybe we might see some positives in the player, in the takeaways, but it is what it is. Like, yeah, it's heartbreaking, but it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. I can't take it yeah. I can understand Man United fans who basically feel like they've lost faith in the manager. I still believe in the manager. We've had games like these in the past, especially under Ten Hag, but this was horrendous. This was horrible to watch. I mean, the only player to have a higher rating that covers himself in glory is Benjamin Šeško, because he scored. At least he scored. The rest didn't cover themselves in glory. It's heartbreaking, man. It's really heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. It's really, really heartbreaking. But it is what it is. You guys tell me what you think in the comment section. We're going to just have to move on from this one. It's really hard. And to now go through the whole week talking about this until we play Sunderland. And Sunderland are not going to be smiling. They're not going to be smiling. Our position on the table, we've dropped down to 13th. And if anybody, Newcastle, Brighton, Burnley, or even Nottingham Forest win a game today, they will go over us and we will drop to 17th. If anybody wins, we will drop to 14th, to 17th. If Newcastle win today, boom, we're dropping to 14th. Brighton win today, we're dropping to 15th because Brighton are playing Chelsea. And then Burnley, if they win today, I think Burnley are playing Man City. If they win today, obviously they're not going to win, we'll drop to 16th. And if Nottingham Forest manage to win today or tomorrow, we are dropping to 17th. It is really, really bad. Now, for Man United, we have played 6 Premier League games. We have won 2, we've lost 2, and then we've lost 3 and drawn 1. Crap! But it is what it is. We just have to keep going. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as relates to Manchester United. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.